Welcome to the Watch Kaki channel, where we bring you all the good and honest watch reviews. If you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button, like my videos, and come back here every week because I've got new videos uploaded every week for my viewers. And for today's video, we are going to take a look at this beautiful looking Seiko diver, the new release SPB147J1. This one here, I think fans are very quick to call it the cappuccino or mochaccino, and I tell you, it is a stunning looking diver watch. It looks very classy, it looks great, and I'm just so happy to loan this watch here from our boutique. And I really need to take the time to thank Eric of our boutique for loaning me this watch. So just a bit of background information on the SPB14X series. Now sometime in mid-year this year, they've launched 4 models. We've got the SPB143, 145. This is the 147, and there's a limited edition 149. Total of 4 dial variations, and I picked the most handsome one. This one here comes in a deep sunburst brown dial, and it looks gorgeous. It looks really good. This is also the only version that comes on a rubber strap, and I think I picked this mainly because on a rubber strap I can do a more in-depth review. I don't have to size the bracelet, so I think it is a great choice, and today I'm going to share with you my thoughts on this model. So as many fans already know, this is one of the latest reiterations or re-release that is inspired by the legendary 62 Mas, the very first professional diver from Seiko way back in 1965. I wasn't born then, but I know it is a classic design, legend of a watch. So over the years, Seiko has made many reissues or many watches inspired from the collection. We've got the SBDC 053 and 51 in 2017, and we've also got the limited edition SLA series. I think recently they also launched the SLA 037, and right now we are looking at the SPB14X series. So this one here, I think in terms of dimension, size and looks, in terms of design and all that, I would say it is very close to the original 62 Mas in the 60s, because you've got the hands that are simpler, they're straight hands, pencil style, and in terms of size, it's also historically correct or period correct. Alright, so as opposed to the SBDC 053 and 51, those watches are a little bit bigger. I think those watches are about 43 millimeters, and they've got a slightly different handset, and in terms of profile and all, the watches look pretty different. They look a bit more rugged, a bit more modern. And now we've got the SPB14X series, and I would say these watches, they are more period correct and probably would fit the reissue of 62 Mas better. So given the price points and the availability, these things are not exactly limited edition. Say for the 149, the blue dial version with the limited edition inscription and all that. The other 3 models, I think they're just production models, and the price and availability makes many Seiko fans think that this is the definitive diver watch for Seiko fans. So I've just zoomed in a little bit more for you to see the watch close up, and we've got the specs here. The case is 40.5 millimeters, and it's got a thickness of 14 millimeters from the base of the case back to the top of the slightly domed sapphire crystal. It's got a 20 millimeter lug width, and it's got a lug to lug distance of 47.5 millimeters. So the bezel size is also very close to the case size. It comes in at 40 millimeters, and we've got a crystal size of 30 millimeters. We've got a crown size of 6.5 millimeters, which I think is a very good match for the overall case dimension. And over here we've got no crown guard, and I think again this design matches the overall historic theme very well. So the movement for the SPB series is the new Seiko 6R35, which boosts a longer power reserve. I think the power reserve has been extended to 72 hours, and I would say many fans are very happy of this new improvement, because you can wear it and put it on the desk on a Friday, and on Monday you don't have to reset the time. So yet another upgrade from the more regular Prospex series is the use of a dome sapphire crystal. Alright, so over here when I turn, you can see the distortion effect going on, and Seiko has listed that there's AR coating on the underside of the crystal. And it is also good to know that the case is coated with Die Shield, Seiko's proprietary coating that sort of strengthens the stainless steel and prevent it from being scratched up. If you ordered one with bracelet, we're talking about the 143 and 145 and 149, even the bracelet is coated with Die Shield. Well, I haven't really tested the durability of the Die Shield coating, but I do know that it gives the stainless steel a different color to it. Right now, when I unboxed this watch, I was actually quite surprised to find that the overall stainless steel has a brownish tinge to it. I'm not too sure if it's caused by the brown dial, but if I do a comparison with my Samurai here, alright, you will notice that this thing doesn't look so white, alright, doesn't look so metallic, looks a little bit brownish. There's a tinge of brown to it, whereas the Samurai here is just pure very light, very silvery metal color. So perhaps the Die Shield has given the stainless steel a different color to it. At the time of this video, the SPB147 has a retail price of around 1,400 Singapore dollars, but usually street price is around 1,200 Singapore dollars. Right, just some more information on the build quality and specs before we finish up on this section. I really like the bezel insert of this watch. Alright, it is a really nicely done stainless steel bezel insert. Alright, not too sure if that's really an insert, but official word from Seiko is that this is stainless steel and it is really nicely brushed and it's really got a texture going on. The figures, the numbers here, they are engraved, they are not printed. And we also need to talk about this lume pip here on the SPB147. Now the lume pip here is excellent. It is really nicely executed. It is not your typical stuck on or painted over type of lume pip. Alright, I believe it's got a layer of glass covering the luminous lume pip, and I think this is a great move by Seiko. Well done. So overall, the build quality of this watch is excellent. I think the brushing here is just fantastic. The transition from the brush surface to the polished bevel here and then back to the circularly brushed top of the lux here, I think it's wonderful. I can really see the step up in terms of build quality. Now, minor complaint from me, there is no sign crown here. Alright, now the crown is again well made, nicely executed with a mix of polish and brush surfaces and really good grip and good size, but hey, there's no sign crown. And I've reset the hands before we talk about the dial design of the Seiko SPB147. Now I'm going to give full marks for this sunburst dial. Full marks, alright? No questions asked. The sunburst dial gets a full mark from me. It is very, very subtle. It is very dark brown, lovely sunburst effect, but in most angles in natural light you would see it as black. Alright, most angles you would think that it's black. It appears black from far, but if you take a look close up, you will see the beautiful sunburst brown, mocha, cappuccino, whatever you want to call it. Now the applied markers and the hands, they've got this creamy color and really nice gold or rose gold border going on, and I really think this adds a touch of class to the overall design of the watch. And as you can see, there's no chapter ring in this one. Alright, the minute hash markers are just printed on the same layer as the indices, and the printing on the dial is kept to a minimal. The Seiko and Prospex logos, they are the usual standard with all these divers. One thing I like to bring to your attention, it is color match. Well, the print and the border of the indices as well as the print on the chapter ring, I think they're sort of color match in this rose gold or bronze kind of look. I wouldn't say it's gold, but I think it's a very deep shade of bronze or gold and really looks good. But alright, I hate to say this, but there is a big design flaw in the dead wheel. Alright, I dislike this date wheel. Alright, I think it's a fatal mismatch of colors. Just take a look at the date wheel here. It's such a spoiler. Alright, it's really a killer. It kills the overall look of the watch. Take a look. They're using a white date wheel here, and the indices, the prints, the markers, everything has that creamy color to it, whereas we've got a white date disc here. My goodness, this really sticks out like a sore thumb. So I don't really understand why Seiko insists in doing this all the time. You've got a really nice design, very great design, classic design elements going on, but then you spoil it, you spoil everything with a white date wheel. Alright, you could have used, Seiko, you could have used a black date wheel. Alright, and let me give you a suggestion. No date, alright, that's even better. Okay, so if you really need to have a date, at least use a black. Use a black one. It doesn't destroy the harmony of the dial. But take a look here. Oh my goodness, it just looks out of place. So it is time to take a look at the lume of this watch. I've charged up the lume with my UV lamp. So let's take a look after switching off the lights. And boom! Alright, they say Seiko lume never disappoint you. And how true. Take a look. This one here glows really bright, and I think it's slightly different color. Usually Seiko lume is in green, but I think this one comes in a turquoise color, and it's slightly closer to blue. I really like the clean design here. We've got pencil hands and, you know, hash markers, and the lume pip there just looks fantastic. And now we take a look at the wrist shot of the SPB147J1. This watch here, classic dimensions, 40.5mm case, short lug to lug length of 47.5, so no lug overhang at all, very manageable size. I would say this is a classic size for a watch. You have no problems wearing this one. In fact, it fits the vintage theme so well. The only slight complaint that I have is the watch here sits a little bit too tall. I think it's a bit thick for a vintage theme diver, mainly because of the case back. I think the case back protrudes quite a bit. Alright, the mid case is rather thin. If you take a look at the brush section here, it's pretty thin, but they've sort of made the case back quite a bit thicker than it should be. So overall, still very manageable, very nice size to it. And for size comparison today, we have the Seiko Turtle. This is also one of the classic models launched in recent times. Now this is the SRP series Turtle, and one look you know which is the bigger size watch. Now this one here comes in at about 44mm. Overall, it's actually thinner than the 147, mainly because it's got a flat crystal here, and I think this one here has got more curves and less protrusion from the case back. Right, I apologize for the poor focus and angle. Okay, it's very difficult to hold on to these watches when you're putting your hands behind the camera. So overall, I would say you know for sure that the 147 is not a big watch. So now let's just zoom back out a little bit so that I can show you the rubber strap that the 147 came with. Now I would say this is a new rubber strap design from Seiko. It should be launched, if I'm not wrong, it was launched together with the Captain Willard reissue. Now these days Seiko is all about remake and inspired from vintage kind of new models, and at the launch of the Captain Willard they had this new design of rubber strap, and it is very nicely made. There are no mold lines to be found. Very impressed by Seiko with this new strap here. They've got some kind of strip right in the middle here, center strip here, but they've done away with the usual Seiko vents. So here's a comparison shot between these two straps. Now this one here came from my Seiko Samurai, also a new model. I think it was launched like 4 or 5 years ago. Alright, so it's got these vents going on, and at the tip here is rounded, whereas the new design here has got a squared off tip here. I also like the hardware found on the new rubber strap. But right, if you were to ask me, I would think that you should always buy the SPB14X series, right? Any 14 anything, 145, anything, you need to buy those on bracelets, because even the bracelet has shield coating, so I would think that's a better value buy for the money you're paying. Alright, so in case you're getting this 147, I would think you should look for the original bracelet from Seiko. Alright, so if I'm not wrong, our boutique can arrange for such purchases, so you can actually buy the 147 and also purchase separately the shield bracelet that comes along with it. That would be the choice. For my final thoughts, to share with you my final thoughts on the 147, this is a great watch. Alright, no mistakes about that. This is a great watch, great design. Alright, I give you that, Seiko. Fantastic design, you nailed it. Everything is right. The case dimensions, the design elements, the build quality is really good. Right, I'm loving the brush finishes, and you know, the transition here to the polished surfaces, and even the coin edge bezel here. Just take a look, it is really well made. Alright, the machining is very clean and precise. Just take a look at how, you know, it plays with the light here. Fantastic. Good grip on the bezel, very good bezel action as well. This is a visible upgrade from many Prospex models. Now if you ask me, right, I think Seiko is not overcharging for this watch. Alright, when these models, when the 1.4 something models, they were launched, fans were very quick to say, oh, Seiko has done it again, they've upped the price without really upping their game. Alright, but in my opinion, I think, you know, 1,200 for this watch, this build quality, I think they are not overcharging us at all. It's not expensive. But the problem is, when you set the bar really high, you want perfection, and this isn't perfect. This is not perfect. Alright, now the first problem I have, big problem. Alright, I dislike this date wheel here. Alright, I know I've been talking about date wheels in almost all my videos. Every time I see a white date wheel, I'll go ah. Alright, so bear with me. Alright, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. Just take a look at how it destroys everything. Right, you've got cream colored indices, and out of the blue you just get a white date disc. I don't get it. Alright, so either you make black or you make it no date. It's not that difficult. Seiko has made black date wheels before, different models. The new Alpinist models, they have black date wheels, so what's so difficult? You know, just pop in, you know, just port over the black date wheel and problem solved. And number two, a slight complaint from me, the watch should have a sign crown. Okay, now at this price point, I would think a sign crown is, you know, adequate. Alright, they should have a sign crown for a model of this price level. Okay, if you're talking about $300-400 entry level Prospex, Samurai, Turtle, I think it's fine. Alright, you're not paying a lot of money, so you can't expect a host of features. But over here, you're paying for about 1,200 street price. You know, it's not that difficult to include a sign crown. So there you have it, the SPB147J1. I would say it is almost perfect, but not quite. Alright, just 1 or 2 steps away from perfection. Alright, this is the diver that most Seiko fans have been looking at since its launch in mid-year, and I think I get it. Alright, it is really very good. It's a great watch, good looking, good size. Even the price, for me, I think it's fair. It's a good price for a watch of this quality. Alright, my only complaint, of course, is this thing here. Wow, it looks like a pimple. I can't get over this one. Alright, but apart from that, this, no doubt, this is a great watch. Alright, so until next week, alright, this is the Watch Kaki from Singapore, and we've got George here. Alright, he's also a watch reviewer like me. We're gonna say goodbye for now. Bye bye.